Last year, I reviewed the film that put Jim Carrey and his career on the map on the movie scene in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Now, this year, I'm going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of its sequel. So brace yourselves, because here's my review of Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Alright then. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 1995 detective comedy flick Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, originally released by Warner Bros. For Morgan Creek. And of course, it's the sequel to Ace Ventura: Pet Detective from the previous year, and second installment in the franchise, starring Jim Carrey reprising his role as the title character. Yes, of course, the pet detective who specializes in retrieval of tame and captive animals that have escaped, who has been summoned to sub-Saharan Africa to locate a missing bat. The film also has Ian McNeice, Simon Callow, and Sophie Okonedo co-starring. Tommy Davidson, who co-starred with Carrey on TV's In Living Color, makes a cameo in the film. The film was released on this day, November 10th, 1995, just 2 days after it premiered at the Regency Village Theater. So henceforth, today is the film's 30th anniversary. And apparently, this film did better than its predecessor. But however, it got dissed big time by the critics. The film was written and directed by Carrey's close friend Steve Odekirk, who had also collaborated in the production and as a character consultant for the first film. If you haven't seen my review of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, I advise you to click on that card and check it out before you go into this in case you might have missed it or seen it again if you like. Alright then, let's get on with the story. After failing to save a raccoon from falling to its death, Ace Ventura becomes depressed and joins a monastery. He is approached by Fulton Greenwald about a job. The monastery's abbot, desperate to be rid of Ace's antics, tells Ace he has achieved enlightenment and should leave with Fulton. Greenwald wants Ace to find the sacred white bat Shakaka. Ace arrives in Nibia and meets with Consul Vincent Cadby. Ace begins his investigation but must overcome his fear of bats. He eventually befriends the tribe's princess who tries to seduce Ace, and he admits his oath to clerical celibacy. Ace also befriends the prince who assists him. Ace's investigation involves eliminating suspects and enduring the escalating threats between the Wachati and Wachutu. Ace suspects the medicine man of the Wachutu is of taking the bat, attempts to infiltrate their village, but is immediately captured. The Wachutu believe Ace as the White Devil, and they are convinced he wants to fight them and have him go through many challenges to gain their trust. He passes them all, and his final challenge is a circle of death fight with their toughest warrior who defeats Ace. Despite losing, Ace's comical antics entertain the Wachutu and release Ace and Uda, but warn them war will be tomorrow at noon. As he departs the Wachutu village, the Wachutu shoot Ace one final time with a dart for laughs. Ace suddenly realizes a tranquilizer dart he was shot with earlier is not the same as the Wachutu's darts and was carved from an akala. This leads him to find two poachers with a bat. They tranquilize Ace and tie him to a raft, which is sent over a waterfall, which eventually leaves his little monkey friend Spike the chance to just escape and not freeing Ace himself. Well, Ace survives and continues to investigate how the poachers are involved with the war between the tribes. Ace consults the abbot via spiritual projection. With the abbot's help, Ace deduces that Cadby has taken the bat in order to turn the tribes against each other so that Cadby can seize control of the lucrative market for guano. Now for the ending. As always, you know procedure. You got 5 seconds to stop this video once. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below as I'm counting down now. If you've seen this already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. When Ace confronts Cadby about his suspicions, Cadby confesses to the plot, explaining that he hired Ace as an alibi. The local law enforcement is loyal to Cadby, and Ace is arrested. Ace summons various animals to facilitate his escape and subsequent attack on Cadby's mansion. Cadby tries to shoot Ace, but is stopped by Greenwald. Cadby escapes with a bat in a rover, but Ace follows him in a monster truck, eventually overtaking him and destroying his car. Ace returns to Bat just as the tribes are about to fight each other on the battlefield. Cadby is noticed by Uda, who calls him the White Devil, and incites both tribes to pursue him. Cadby is able to escape them, but then encounters a gorilla who mistakes him for a mate. The Wachai princess is married to the Wachutu prince, who is revealed to be the warrior who defeated Ace during the Circle of Death challenge earlier. It is discovered that the bride is no longer a virgin on Ace's account. Peace between the tribes is still achieved when the two tribes join and chase after Ace in the end. End of story. So, what did I think of Ace Ventura when nature calls? Now, I've only seen this a few times. While I still like the first Ace Ventura a little more, this film still has its moments. It still has the same hysterical craziness and some of the memorable Ace bits he did that Jim Carrey did in the first film. But eventually, the film unfortunately got dissed big time. Staying at a mere 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, they call it Nature Calls in this Ace Ventura sequel, and it's answered by the law of diminishing returns. Metacritic is kind of mixed or average with 44 of that score, and Cinema Score gave us a B+. Apparently, despite getting this, was nominated for a Razzie for Worst Remake or Sequel, but didn't win. It eventually got nominated for 5 Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, where James G. Robinson won for both Most Painfully Unfunny Comedy and Worst Sequel. He also was nominated for Worst Picture and the sequel nobody was clamoring for but lost, and Jim Carrey was nominated for Worst Actor but lost. However, Carrey did win Favorite Movie Actor at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, where the film also won the Favorite Movie. Same went with the MTV Movie Awards, where Carrey won Best Male Performance and Comedic Performance. He and Sophie Okonedo was nominated for Best Kiss, but lost. The film won the 1996 Top Box Office Films ASCAP Award and was nominated for and Carrey was nominated for Funniest Actor in a Motion Picture Leading Role, but lost. Nevertheless, despite the film got dissed, the film eventually surpassed its predecessor, going on to make $212 million worldwide on its $30 million budget. Now, apparently, after this, there would be the Ace Ventura animated series that came out in Canada, and then it got aired on CBS Saturday mornings. But we never did hear more from Ace, though. Now, in 2009, there will be a made for TV sequel in Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective, but it got poor reception. I've only seen it once. It's alright. In March of 2021, there were reports that a direct sequel under the working title Ace Ventura 3 was in development at Amazon Studios. Pat Casey and Josh Miller, writers of Sonic the Hedgehog, which of course Carrey's currently a part of, were attached as writers for the film. Although there are no official plans for the film, Carrey joked that he would star in the movie if Christopher Nolan were to direct the film. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that. But anyway, I will say it's really, really something. But anyway, it did get a pretty good soundtrack release on MCA Soundtracks, which of course included music from the Goo Goo Dolls, White Zombie, Montel Jordan, and others. Plus, Sting, along with Pato Bantang, did a new version of the Police's, well, which of course Sting was a part of their song Spirits in the Material World. Blues Traveler did a cover of Secret Agent Man. And the President of the United States of America, just right after they actually made it with their self titled debut album, having so many big songs, most notably Lump, did a song called Boll Weevil, which of course not to be confused with another song though. But anyway, that was pretty good. Robert Folk did the score for the film, and I will give him credit for that and what have you. Now, I did think the direction Steve Oeckert did was really, really something. Of course, he was not just well known for working with Jim Carrey, but with Tom Shadyac as well, who of course directed the first Ace Ventura film. And of course, this is the guy who also created, founded O Studio, O Entertainment. You know, the studio that worked on the Nickelodeon show and movie of Jimmy Neutron. Now, of course, Odenkirk had also, after this, would go on to work on The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy and Patch Adams with Robin Williams, as well as the extremely underrated Kung Pao Enter the Fist, which, of course, he starred in. And, of course, oh yeah, and also the underrated Nickelodeon film Barnyard. He also served as writer for both Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. He also was a writer for In Living Color as well. So not too bad and what have you. Now for the cast, we have Jim Carrey back once again as Ace Ventura. He's still hysterical as always. And boy, let me tell you, in this one scene where he's trying to get out this fake rhino that's a it's really a machine, but he manages to get out in a weird way, from the backside that is. But don't worry, it was just oh, you get what I'm saying, all right? Enough said. Ian McNeice took on the role of Fulton Greenwald. Not too bad. Simon Callow as Vincent Cadby. Not bad. Maynard Iziashi as Prince Uda. Bob Gunton as Burning Quinn. Not bad. Sophie Okonedo as the Wachai Princess. Tommy Davidson as the Wachutu Prince, aka the Tiny Warrior. Yeah, I gotta say those characters are really, yeah. But Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Well, I'm much. Well, I don't really hate this movie. I actually do like this movie, but not as much as the first film. No, no, no. I do like this film, but I still think the first film is much more crazier and more funny. But still, Ace nails it with some of his famous lines, like just like we heard in the first film, like "All right then," and who's the and all that stuff. Eventually, that was pretty good. But anyway, it's just so funny. So if you like the first film, I'm sure you'll like this one. Like I said, I like this film, but I like the first one a little more. But I would recommend you give this a one-time watch. Okay? So, what did you think of Ace Ventura When Nature Calls? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation, and you know the rest. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, join me next time when I bring to you a review of the original version of The Running Man with Schwarzenegger. Oh boy, I'm so ready for this. So if you like this, check out my reviews of these other Jim Carrey flicks. In the upper left hand corner, you can check out my review of a film he did the same year as the original Ace Ventura in The Mask from 1994. Or go to the upper right hand corner and see my review of Bruce Almighty from 2003. Good film. Or if you would like to see Jim Carrey taking on another bat, namely Batman, check out my re-review of another film that came out the same year this film did in 1995, Batman Forever. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.